All right, today we are going on a fantastic voyage through one of the most complex and honestly one of the most fascinating systems in your entire body, your digestive system.
I mean, we've all been there, right? You're enjoying a great meal. But have you ever really stopped to think about the incredible journey that food takes after you swallow? Where does it even go? And what exactly is your body doing to it? Well, that is our mission for this explainer. We are going to follow that food step by step through the amazing world of your digestive system, from that very first bite all the way to the final destination. Okay, so every great journey has to have a starting point. And for our food, that journey begins, you guessed it, in the mouth. And let me tell you, it's way more than just a place for tasting. So the second that food enters your mouth, your teeth get to work. That's the crushing and grinding part. We call that mechanical digestion. At the exact same time, your salivary glands release saliva, which starts mixing in and begins the chemical digestion, softening everything up into this round little ball called a bolus. But your saliva has a secret weapon, this special enzyme called amylase. This is chemical digestion in action. Amylase immediately gets to work breaking down complex carbohydrates, like the bun from that burger, into smaller, simpler sugars. Okay, quick pause. You're going to want to remember this because it's a classic exam question. Where does carbohydrate digestion begin? The answer is always the mouth, not the stomach. Protein, as we're about to see, starts its journey later. So just lock this in your brain. Mouth equals carbs. Got it? So once you swallow, that bolus gets pushed into the esophagus. Now, it doesn't just kind of drop down because of gravity. Nope. Instead, this powerful wave-like muscle contraction called peristalsis squeezes it all the way down. It's so strong, it would work even if you were standing on your head. After its trip down the esophagus, our food arrives at the next major stop, the stomach. And you can really think of this place as a highly efficient, super acidic processing plant. And get this. Your stomach produces about 1 to 2 liters of powerful gastric juice every single day. In fact, just the sight or even the smell of food is enough to get those glands going and producing acid. Now, that brings up a really good question, right? This gastric juice has hydrochloric acid in it, which is incredibly strong. So with all that powerful acid just sloshing around in there, why doesn't the stomach just digest it itself? And the answer is actually brilliant in its simplicity. The stomach has a secret weapon, this super thick, protective layer of mucus that is constantly coating its entire inner wall. It creates this perfect barrier against its own acid. So what's actually in this powerful gastric juice? Let's meet the all-star team. First up, you've got hydrochloric acid. Think of it like a security guard, just killing off any harmful bacteria you might have swallowed. Next is pepsin, the enzyme that starts breaking down the proteins, like the meat from our burger. And finally, intrinsic factor. This one is super important because it's essential for helping your body absorb vitamin B12 later on, a vitamin you need for healthy nerves and blood cells. So the stomach is powerfully churning and mixing all of this juice with the food. After this whole process, our food is completely transformed. It's not a bolus anymore. It's now this soupy, semi-liquid mixture called chyme. All right, now the chyme is ready for the main event. It gets released into the real star of the digestive show, the small intestine. This is the nutrient powerhouse, and it gets some critical help from its partners, the liver and the pancreas. So as soon as that acidic chyme enters the small intestine, it's met by 2 crucial fluids. First, you've got pancreatic juice, which neutralizes all that stomach acid and is just packed with enzymes for carbs, proteins, and fats. And second is bile. Bile is made by your liver, stored in the gallbladder, and its one big job is to tackle fats. Here's a really great way to think about what bile does. Imagine you're washing a greasy pan. Water by itself doesn't work so well, right? But the second you add dish soap, it breaks that grease up into tiny little droplets. That is exactly what bile does to the fats from your food. It's a process called emulsification, and it lets the enzymes attack the fat way more effectively. So why do we call the small intestine the nutrient powerhouse? Well, it is all about maximizing surface area. Its inner wall isn't flat at all. It has these large circular folds. On top of those folds are millions of tiny finger-like things called villi. And on each one of those villi are even tinier microvilli. All these folds on top of folds create a massive surface area for absorbing all those nutrients into your bloodstream.
You know that sleepy food coma feeling after a big meal? That's your body focusing all its energy right here, getting to work absorbing everything. Now, it's pretty easy to get the two intestines confused, so let's put them side by side real quick. The small intestine's main job is to absorb nutrients, and it has those millions of villi to get it done. The large intestine's main job is absorbing water, and it has no villi at all. It's a totally different structure for a totally different job. Okay, now that the small intestine has absorbed all the good stuff, the leftover material, which is now mostly just water and indigestible fiber, moves into the final stretch, the large intestine. Now, the large intestine is home to an estimated 100 billion helpful bacteria. This gut microbiome is incredibly important. These little guys produce certain vitamins, help break down fiber, and even play a huge role in your immune system.
Phew! We followed our food from the very start to the very finish on its fantastic voyage. So let's do a quick mission recap just to lock in all those key points.
All right, let's run through the journey one last time. It starts in the mouth, where carb digestion kicks off. Then it heads to the stomach, which creates chyme and starts protein digestion. From there, it's the small intestine, the main site for all digestion and nutrient absorption. And finally, the large intestine, which absorbs water and prepares waste. So there you have it, the fantastic voyage of your food. I want to leave you with a final thought. Now that you're practically a digestion expert, and you understand the incredible work your body does, what's one thing you learned today that might change how you think about your next meal? Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer.